Hello all. So in a landmark decision, Government of India has announced that the next census of India will be a caste census, meaning in census the officials of the government, they will also be asking caste of each and every citizen of India. We will be getting to know what percentage of Indian population belongs to this particular caste or what percentage of Indian population belongs to that particular caste, right? It is happening for the first time after independence, and hence in this video we are going to discuss why government has taken this decision, what are the arguments in favor of caste census, what are the arguments against caste census, what is the history of caste census in India, right? So let's begin with, as you can see it here, government has announced that there will be caste enumeration in the next census activity, and this was a long pending demand of many political parties including the opposition parties, and now for the first time government has accepted it. So let's begin with, let's see the history of caste census in India. So you see, census, it is basically a decadal exercise where what government tries to do, government tries to collect demographic and socio-economic data of citizens of India. So in this, during the census, government officials, they basically ask how many members are there in the family, what is the, how many of them are male, how many of them are female, what is to what age group they belong to, what is the literacy level, and basic economic data as well, whether that family has a pakka house or kacha house, whether that family has a refrigerator or not, whether that family has a two-wheeler or not. So such kind of data, economic data and demographic data, government tries to collect during the census. But government after independence is not collecting the caste data of the citizens. So the census activity, it was started by British for the first time during 1871-72. The thing is, the first census of India, it could not get completed in one phase, and this census, it took many phases to get completed, right? After this, the next census which was conducted is in 1881, and in this census government collected caste data as well. So it was a caste census. Government made it public that in India how many percentage of people belongs to this caste or that caste or so on, right? And after 1881, every census which government conducted, it was a caste census only till 1931. The last census during British time was in 1941. But the thing is, during 1941 census, there was World War II going on, and hence the data collected during 1941 census was incomplete, right? Which was, and hence it was very limited data of 1941 census was made public. So the caste related data which we have with us is of 1931 census only. So that is the last caste census of India. After independence, the government of India, it made a deliberate policy that from now onwards we will not be collecting caste data of Indians. Reason being, government wanted to dilute the caste identity of people. But government said that we recognize that there is some section of population which need positive support, which need upliftment from government. And because affirmative actions has to be taken for those section of the societies, I am talking about SCs and STs. Now how much reservation has to be given to these section of society? For this we need their population data, and hence only SCs and STs, their caste data will be taken in the census, but not of any other caste. So meaning from 1951 till now we are collecting the data of SCs and STs, but not of any other caste. The thing is, in late 1970s, when second backward class commission was set up, which is very famously called as, remembered as Mandal Commission, after the name of chairperson of this commission. Mandal Commission, it changed the caste dynamics, or it changed the politics of India with respect to caste. Now Mandal Commission, it said that other backward class OBCs, they also need support from the government in the form of reservation. And Mandal Commission, because there was no recent data related to caste, it also relied on 1931 caste census. As per that census, nearly 52% of Indian population was of OBCs, and hence Mandal Commission recommended for 27% reservation for OBCs. So, after Mandal Commission and after the implementation of the report of Mandal Commission, the demand for caste census, a fresh caste census, started picking up in Indian politics. But government somehow could resist to this demand. In 2011, the last census which was conducted, in 2011 there was government of UPA led by Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. In the UPA itself, there were few political parties which had the support base among OBCs. For example, political parties like RJD, SP, Samajwadi Party, they pressurized the Prime Minister to conduct caste census. But in 2011, the main census did not collect the caste data, but parallelly or after the main census in 2011 only, the government of India, it started a new activity called as SECC, socio-economic caste census, right. So, socio-economic caste census, in this parallel census, government collected caste data, but the thing is, the data of SECC 2011, it was especially the caste related data of SECC 2011, it was also not made public by the new government, that is Narendra Modi government. So, and hence since independence, we have not conducted any caste census. Now, for last few years, there has been a demand by opposition parties that we should have caste census. So, after 2011, the new census, the next census was due in 2021, but because of COVID, the 2021 census has been delayed. Let us see when this census will be started. Experts, they are saying, or government is indicating that in 2026 we might start this census activity. Now, because a demand for next census has been picked up by the opposition parties, and government till now was hesitating or reluctant to start or reluctant to conduct a caste census, many opposition ruled states like Bihar at that time, when in Bihar at that time there was a coalition of JDU, RJD and Congress. So, Bihar conducted caste survey, the state of Karnataka has conducted caste survey, the state of Telangana has conducted caste survey. So, especially the opposition ruled states, they have conducted caste survey. So, we try to understand the census, it is a subject of union list under Schedule 7 of the Constitution, meaning census can only be done by central government, not by state governments. But states, in the name of survey, they are trying to correct the caste data because central government was hesitant till now. Now, central government itself has announced that we will be conducting, or the next census of India will be a caste census. Now, let us see what is the need of caste census. What are the arguments in favor of caste census? Why shall we conduct caste census? So, the thing is, first is to estimate the change in demography. So, as we have seen that right now, even now, the benefits of reservation which we are giving to any particular caste, especially the OBCs, the data on which we are relying is of 1931. Since 1931, there has been lot of change in terms of caste demography, which we don't have. So, to estimate the change in demography, we need a new data, right. Secondly, many dominant caste these days, especially for example, caste like Patidars in Gujarat, Jats in Haryana, Kapus in Andhra Pradesh or Marathas in Maharashtra, they also demand for reservation. Now, if you have to give them reservation, you have some you should be having some data, you should be having some scientific reason for giving them reservation. But right now government does not has any such data, reason being caste census only is not done, right. If we are able to conduct caste census, we will be knowing their socio-economic position in the society, and hence we will be able to justify whether this particular caste deserves reservation or not. So, the demand for reservation which many castes right now are asking for, this we will be able to reach to a conclusion whether their demand is justified or not if we have proper data or recent data. Then we have to also assess the impact of welfare schemes, welfare measures which government is taking. So, government for the welfare of these lower caste or the deprived caste, government is taking so many welfare schemes and measures, but whether there is improvement in the life of those people or not, we again for this assessment what we need is we need a new caste census. Then lastly, there has been demand by many OBC caste that there should be sub-categorization among OBC, meaning that the 27% reservation which is given to OBCs, it is believed that the benefit of the reservation of OBCs, most of the benefit is taken by few influential caste among OBCs. Rest of the caste among OBCs, they are not able to get the benefit of reservation, and hence Justice G. Rohini Commission was set up by Government of India, and Justice G. Rohini Commission, what it has recommended is, it has recommended for sub-classification, sub-categorization of OBCs into 4 groups, right, depending upon, right, whether a particular caste is more affluent among OBCs, that will be kept, let us say those castes will be kept in group 1 and they will be given lesser reservation, right. So, sub-categorization demand, this also we will be able to fulfill only when we have data related to a particular caste, the number of people in that caste, secondly what is the socio-economic level of that particular caste, right. So, these are the reasons why a caste census should be done. It will basically be helping the government to make policy on the basis of data driven policy government will be able to make only when we conduct caste census. But then there are concerns associated with caste census. As we have discussed that after independence, it was a deliberate, it was a very well thought policy of the government that we will not be conducting caste census. Reason being, caste census, what it does is it enhances or it makes your caste identity very strong. So, caste identity of people will become strong if caste census is done. What will be happening is government first of all will be conducting or will be collecting caste data, then government will be compiling caste data, then government will be making that data public. Government will also be telling that people of this caste, what is the socio-economic condition of this caste. These this will be making caste as a very strong identity of people. It will make the subject of caste will become a public discourse in India, and hence the caste identity, there is a threat that caste identity of people in India will become even more stronger. Then the next problem or concern associated with caste census is that once caste census, once the data of caste will be made public, right, the political parties, they will start indulging into vote bank politics. They will start mobilizing population on the basis of their caste. That is another threat or concern. The last one is that once caste data is out, the political parties or especially the few caste group including OBCs, they will be demanding for more reservation. There will be pressure on the government to breach the 50% ceiling which Supreme Court had set in Indira Sahni case in 1990s. So, the limit of 50% reservation might be breached by the government under the pressure if a caste census is conducted. So, these many are concerns associated with caste census, and hence government till now was hesitating to conduct caste census, that it will again divide the society in the name of caste. Now, the next census which is due, which might start in 2026, it is very significant for many reasons. Firstly, it will be the first caste census after independence. Secondly, the delimitation exercise which also is frozen since 1971, right, which was done once in 2002, but not exactly in the manner of 1971. So, the delimitation exercise which is frozen since 1971, that also now is due, and that will be done on the basis of the next census, right. So, and hence next census is significant for the purpose of delimitation also. You all might have read a lot about the opposition of delimitation, especially by the southern Indian states, especially the state of Tamil Nadu, which is speaking against delimitation a lot. And thirdly, last year, if you know, before election in 2024, government passed a bill, reservation to women in Lok Sabha as well as state assemblies, right. 1/3 reservation has been promised to women. But this reservation also in the bill only it has been mentioned that reservation will be given only after the next census and delimitation exercise is done. So, after next census first delimitation will be done and then reservation to women will this step or this reservation it is also be a milestone in India's politics where women will be getting their due share into politics. So, I am saying next census of 2026 or 2027 whenever government conducts it, it is going to be very significant. So, I hope through this video you have understood what is caste census, why we have not conducted caste census since independence, why government is conducting it now, and what are the implication of caste census. So, thank you so much for watching this video.